Hello everyone, with the Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Monday evening, September 15, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you all like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you all get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you all utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather's been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Taking a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook that just came out at 7:09 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:09 p.m. Jamaica time. We still have that code red right here across the main development region that has now been designated Invest 92L. So it definitely now has a high chance of development within the next 7 days, a 90% chance at that. And if we take a look at the infrared, we can see the clouds, showers, and thunderstorms associated with this tropical wave trying to get its act together. Definitely equidistant from Africa and the Eastern Caribbean, the Lesser Antilles right there. Lots of thunderstorms associated with it as well. Very interesting times ahead. Let's see how it actually plays out. Either way, in terms of the close-up of Invest 92L right here, you can see all of the clouds, showers, and thunderstorms bubbling up. Quite a very interesting looking tropical wave right now, trying to get its act together over the very warm waters of the main development region as it pushes towards the northwest. And the Euro and the GFS spaghetti model plots right here are in agreement that the system should be making that northwestward, if not west northwestward trek, definitely passing just to the north of the Lesser Antilles on both the Euro and GFS ensembles, as you can see here. So nothing is going to be affecting the Caribbean. And regarding the intensity model guidance, we see that even within the next 24 hours, some of these models take it up into tropical storm status in the greens, a few of them even making it as far as hurricane status in the yellows by the, let's say, the 2 to 3 day time frame. We'll see it actually plays out. We see that most of them maintain that tropical storm status as we head over the next 7 days though. We'll see it actually plays out. Even the Euro and the GFS supercomputer model runs here are in agreement that there should definitely be something out there by around 12Z on Monday, September 22. That's about 7 a.m. and we see the circulation right here. A lot of shower and thunderstorm activity, heavy rainfall just to the north of Puerto Rico, the Leeward Islands right in here. 990 millibars is what is being shown here on the Euro. Definitely a strong tropical storm, if not a low-end hurricane at that time. The GFS still just a bit a ways away from where the Euro has it, just northeast of there, and we definitely see a stronger system, a lot more isobars, a lot more contour lines, even heavier rainfall in the greens, yellows, oranges, and reds, and that L right there in the center. Definitely a hurricane according to the GFS at that time. And we see it a bit more to the northeast of where the Euro has it, to the northeast of the Caribbean. Very interesting. We have something down in here, but we didn't see anything on the Euro though for that time period. Interesting times are definitely ahead. We definitely have to pay close attention to the tropics at this time. I know that if something should finally form, let's see if we actually Gabriel to finally form. We've been, hung over that name for the longest while now. Looks like it's definitely gonna be, named Gabriel in the coming week. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we have a tropical wave right here across the Central Caribbean. This tropical wave is definitely going to be bringing some rainfall to portions of Jamaica on Tuesday as we head into Wednesday as well. Interesting. Another tropical wave right here across the waters to the east of the Caribbean, and that other tropical wave that the Hurricane Center is watching now for a high chance of development. All of these either being steered from east to west or from southeast to northwest, all courtesy of that ridge of high pressure to the north. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before we lost sunlight, we can even make out an area of low pressure right here of the east coast of the US. A lot of shower and thunderstorm activity taking place. We definitely saw that right here on the surface map. We can even make out the clouds associated with that tropical wave definitely passing to the south of Hispaniola as we speak. We can also see the clouds associated with that other tropical wave right here just to the east of the Caribbean. More of the moisture to the north of the wave axis. We see some moisture right here affecting the Leeward Island, and we see the huge circulation associated with Invest 92L definitely trying to get its act together as we speak. We can definitely even make out some spin associated with this system as we speak. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Monday, September 15, 2025. It was stated that rainfall could have been in the forecast of parts of some eastern, central, and western parishes on Monday afternoon. And we know that eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? At around 2:35 p.m, the infrared satellite image was posted not only here on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, but it was also posted on our Instagram page with the Jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So at that time, that was 2:35 p.m, we saw the infrared showing some amount of thunderstorm activity across sections of some central and western parishes. All of these reds into the blacks represents that cumulonimbus cloud cover, not to mention the sparkling white dots in there that we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. Definitely across section of northern St. Andrew, northern St. Catherine, northern Clarendon, northern Manchester, northern St. Elizabeth, into portion of Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, right in there across the cockpit country. Definitely got the brunt of that at that time. And then if we look at the visible satellite images, we saw what took place at around 4 or 5 p.m. We were definitely getting on some isolated thunder shower activity in the east as well. Sections of Portland into St. Thomas, we saw those clouds pushing in, and we saw the sparkling white dot. Now we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. And we saw the huge burst of convection across some central and especially western parishes at that. And if we take a look back at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before we lost sunlight, we can make all the clouds that pushed in from east to west into section of Portland, into section of eastern St. Thomas, section of western Jamaica definitely got the brunt of today's thunderstorms. Though, and we saw even some clouds passing to the south of us, some decent looking thunderstorm clouds right here to the south of the eastern end of the island. And the infrared right here confirming the thunderstorms that took place. I mean, look at the huge burst of convection right here across section of St. James into Trelawney, into St. Elizabeth right here, reds into the blacks, all of the sparkling white dots as well that we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. And then before all was said and done with the day, we saw that most of these clouds were starting to dwindle down and dissipate. But look out west, we see some thunderstorms out there. We're going to be looking at what's taking place right now shortly. Do we still have those thunderstorms to our west? I will let you know. The Jamaican Doppler radar looks to have glitched out, unfortunately, but we have confirmation right here. See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing some light to slightly moderate rainfall in the Flatbridge area. This was at around 1:28 p.m. but we saw people in their vehicles going about their business nonetheless. And they usually get some decent rainfall up into the hills of St. Catherine right here around the Bogwalk Gorge. I'm sure that they were grateful for the rainfall to cool down the temperatures at that time. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit See Jamaica on YouTube. They have these live streams all for you all to view for free. So subscribe today so that you don't miss out. Taking a look at the total accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint quite the picture for we might have had that rainfall today. Definitely across sections of some central and western parishes, and sections of some eastern parishes as well. Even although it's not the right eastern parishes, they not saw that rainfall across sections of Portland for sure. Even although it's showing whites here, we know that they got some rainfall in that parish this afternoon. And we definitely have some comments right here from some of our followers confirming what the weather was like in their area today. We have Active 4081 sitting hot in his area of Clarendon. We have Randall Green stating good evening weather Jamaica. We didn't get any rain in Brownstone St. and today it's now partly cloudy. Thanks for confirming. We also have Camille Clark 9669 stating once again no rain for South Manchester, but Camille came by later on and confirmed that it finally rained a bit in the Spur Tree area. Thanks for confirming. We have Hermine Fostet stating it is overcast in Falmouth and thunder is rolling, but there is no rain. We have Terry stating no rain in Portmore again. Sigh. We have Juliet Graham stating overcast in Westmoreland and drizzle. Thank you all for confirming. Even on our Facebook page we had some comments coming in. We have Latoya stating heater mad me. We have Davia stating got good rain in the western part. Thanks for confirming as well. And that indeed confirms all of the comments from our followers for today. Alright, so we're going to be reloading the very latest still image from the Weather Nerds website. The latest Jamaican Doppler radar, hopefully it's fixed by the time it reloads. The latest Cuban Doppler radar, the latest Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar, and the latest Cayman radar. We want to see exactly what's taking place right now. Alright, so the latest still image from the Weather Nerds website. This is showing 0025 UTC, which we know represents 7:25 p.m. Jamaica time. So this just came out 7 minutes ago, considering that it is 7:32 p.m. right now. The Jamaican Doppler radar still showing some leftover clouds from today's thunderstorms in the blues, greens, yellows, and even the whites as well, some high cirrus clouds. But do we actually have rainfall underneath some of these clouds? Not really sure right now. I'm sure it's raining out west though. The Jamaican Doppler radar can't confirm any rainfall. The Cuban Doppler radar can't confirm any rainfall either because it is showing 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2:30 p.m. Jamaica time today. At that time, we saw some rain bands across some central and western parishes. The Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar not really confirming what's taking place across Jamaica right now. We saw some rain bands earlier across sections of Portland. As a matter of fact, there we go. We're still getting in some amount of rainfall. We see the rain bands right here across sections of Portland. We also saw where we had some rainfall across the western peninsula of Haiti and portions of southeastern Cuba. But regarding the Cayman radar, now the Cayman radar can confirm for us. We're actually seeing some blues that represent some light rainfall that were located just to the south of Westmoreland, to the southwest of St. Elizabeth. But as you can see, as the time went on, it dissipated. We can see some rainfall in the greens into the yellows, moderate to some slightly heavy rainfall to the west of us though, to the south of the Cayman Islands as well. But not really much taking place across the Cayman Islands right now. We see some rain bands across Cuba though. Regarding the live camera here from C Jamaica's YouTube channel, what's taking place right now in the downtown Kingston area. Nothing in the way of bad weather, but this could definitely change tomorrow. We're definitely going to be getting some wet weather in the downtown Kingston area for sure. Tropical wave is going to be bringing us some decent rainfall. So enjoy the dry weather while it lasts. We see people walking about, going about their business, people in their vehicles going about their business, and that should be the order of the evening into the night. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we're 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, and by about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, temperature should dip down to about 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Tuesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some yellows and some slight oranges. That represents maybe 1, maybe up to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. We know the normal temperature for the month of September across Jamaica is around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And when that's converted to degrees Celsius that we use here in Jamaica, that's around 32.2 degrees Celsius. So it should be receiving anywhere from 32.2 all the way up to maybe 34.2 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Tuesday. And unfortunately, we have a maintenance outage advisory that we have to highlight from my GPS online Twitter page. It's just one, but you know, we have to highlight these because we know that when we have power outages somewhere across the island, it can definitely make the heat feel even worse because we don't have our fan or our AC to cool us down. So if you live or work in these areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in these areas, please let them know that a power outage is coming their way on Tuesday, September 16, 2025. We're referring to Top Alston to Moravia in Manchester from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we have some tips right here to beat the heat as usual. It states here, seek shade when outside. Eat fresh, try eating cold foods such as salads and fruit. Rest, make sure you get enough sleep and rest if you're feeling tired. Soak, take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. And I cannot stress enough the importance of keeping hydrated throughout the day. Drink lots of water even if you're not thirsty. And put away those sugary drinks and drink water instead. Taking a look at the dry air map, we like to see this. Look how the dry air has dwindled down. We know that the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and whites within those three. And the dry air across the entire, almost the entire Caribbean into the main development region has definitely dwindled down. That's what we like to see. We like to see more blues that represent moist air, because you know that whenever we have the moist air, we have more clouds building and we have more rainfall to receive. Most of that dry air seems to be right here, just to the northwest of Africa, across the northern portions of the main development region into the northern portion of North Atlantic. You know, the dry air is responsible for keeping the atmosphere stable. We don't want any stable air. We want some unstable air. We want some clouds. We want some rain. We want some cool temperatures. We want some water in our pipes. And that's what's going to be taking place across our neck of the woods in the coming weeks. And that's definitely what we want. More rainfall for sure. We all love rainfall. Regarding the Saharan dust forecast for the next 3 days, so we're heading into September 16, September 17, and September 18. And as you can see, Jamaica right here, we should be in the clear for the next 3 days. No ounce of Saharan dust should be affecting us. We do see some Saharan dust pushing across the main development region though. There should be some of that pushing into the eastern Caribbean as early as September 17. Some hazy skies they could experience in the Leeward Island. You also see some of that right here that should be engulfing the system that should be named Gabriel. We see the spin associated with it, so it's gonna be, you know, having some Saharan dust to the north and to the west of it, maybe, you know, being intertwined into the circulation. Maybe that could be one of the factors as to why it won't be, you know, rapidly intensifying according to the Euro. The GFS is showing otherwise. We'll see it actually plays out. Regarding the wave forecast for tomorrow, the GFS right here showing the blues anywhere from the light shades to the dark shades of blues, anywhere from 0.5 for meter wave height all the way up to 1.5 meter wave heights, and that's because of the easterly winds that are expected tomorrow. We see that flow averaging anywhere from 10 to 15, maybe even up to 20 knot winds for sure. Very interesting pattern. I like this pattern. Definitely favors some rainfall for us. Definitely want that. Look at that. We know that there's a huge pattern change. I mean, we've been getting light shades of blues on the north coast. You know, it's 0.5 for meter wave height, or a bit more or a bit less. But when you see some changes like this, we know that there has been a shift in the pattern. I know for a fact that a huge pattern shift is coming this week. So rainfall for places that didn't get rainfall definitely coming for us. So look out for that rainfall. Got this on the north coast tomorrow up to 1.1 meter wave height. That's to the north of Poland. 0.8 of a meter wave height to the north of St. Anne. To the north of Hanover, 0.8 of a meter wave height. To the south of Westmoreland, 0.7 of a meter wave height. To the south of Clarendon, 0.9 of a meter wave height. To the south of St. Thomas, what do we see? 1 meter wave height. And that's because of the winds that we see. Look at the winds. Looks like it's coming more so from the northeast on the north coast, coming in from the east on the south coast. And look at where the air is going to be piling up. It looks like sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes, but more so some southern parishes, and that's what we definitely want to see, because boy, the south coast hasn't been getting in on much of anything. So wherever we have the least amount of winds, wherever we have the blues, that's where we could get some of these low level clouds becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper level cumulonimbus cloud. So look out for some decent afternoon rainfall on Tuesday. And the upper level winds, look at the direction of the upper level winds. Looks like it's coming in from the northeast, if not the east northeast. So that could favor some of these cloud tops if we actually get thunderstorms. That could favor some of these cloud tops to be steered off or sheared off towards the south and west. So that could definitely favor more of that rainfall across sections of some southern parishes for sure. So look out for that. And even the rainfall forecast here from the Euro and the GFS are in agreement that it's going to be raining somewhere in Jamaica within the next 24 hours. Look at this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 6 a.m. Jamaica time. The Euro is showing the blues that represent rainfall to the southeast of us. Not really sure about that. The GFS showing the blues that represent rainfall to the northeast of us, maybe affecting northeastern Jamaica. Which one will win? We have some disagreement on where the rainfall will be. We'll see it actually plays out, but for afternoon there's definitely some agreement on both models. We see the blues represent rainfall across eastern, central, and western parishes, and this is valid for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time. And the GFS is even more robust with the rainfall that's expected. I mean, look at these dark blues across sections of Kingston into St. Catherine. Looks like Kingston people are finally going to be getting in on some rainfall. So too the people of St. Catherine. More people going to be happy. We see the blues represent rainfall also affecting sections of St. Thomas, Portland, sections of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Mary, sections of St. Catherine, St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth. Well, St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, St. James into Hanover and Westmoreland. Definitely going to be getting on some amount of rainfall on Tuesday, especially with that tropical wave, causing some amount of instability in and around the island. And even the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps are in agreement that it's going to be raining in Jamaica within the next 24 hours. Both maps right here from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. And we see Jamaica from the eastern end to the western end shaded in the greens, into the yellows, into the slight oranges. That represents all the way up to maybe 0.4 of an inch of rainfall. The GFS a bit more robust, going all the way up to 0.59 of an inch of rainfall. We know how these things go. It could be more than that, it could be less than that. We'll see it actually plays out, and whatever happens, we'll definitely take it, because we are in the month of September and we found a brand new website right here showing the bar graphs in terms of the rainfall trend for Jamaica. I really like this website. It shows the rainfall in millimeters as well as in inches. I like to use the inches. They were looking at Hanover, and in Hanover for September we usually receive around 6.8 inches of rainfall. That's around 172 millimeters of rainfall. In Kingston we usually receive around 4.1 inches of rainfall for the month of September. That's around 105 millimeters of rainfall. And if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives in terms of rainfall for the month of September or for the entire year, you can visit this website, that is nomadseason.com, and that website to show that information. And you can use the graphic that we normally use. Where is it? So it seems like I loaded it at all, but the graphic I'm referring to, this graphic right here, that confirms, well, that shows rainfall from inches to millimeters. That 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. But would you even need this graphic anymore, because this website is so good that it converts the inches to millimeters for you, so no calculations are needed. Really like this website for sure. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days have in store for us according to the latest Euro and GFS supercomputer model runs that came out today. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here at the top as we go to the next 168 hours. That stands for the next 7 days. Keep your eyes focused on Jamaica right here as we look for all of this that we see on the key on the right. That's the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens represents inches of rainfall. So let's see what's going to be taking place. Alright, so we can see that for 12Z on Wednesday, which is actually 7 a.m., we have a lot of moisture across the central into the western Caribbean. Very interesting. That tropical wave definitely going to be moistening up our atmosphere. That's definitely what we want. We see rainfall to the north of us, to the south of us, to the west of us. That's for Wednesday morning on the Euro. Then as we head into Wednesday afternoon, we're still seeing moisture across eastern, central, and western parishes. What does the GFS show? Just like the Euro, we're seeing moisture to the south of us across the far eastern end of the island. Then on Wednesday afternoon, we're seeing rainfall as well across eastern, central, and western parishes. Interesting. What do we see on Thursday morning? On Thursday morning, not really seeing much of anything across Jamaica. On Thursday afternoon, we're seeing rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. What does the GFS show? Thursday morning, rainfall to the south of us, rainfall to the east of us. And then on Thursday afternoon, we're seeing rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes once again. What do we see on Friday morning? On Friday morning, we see rainfall across the far eastern end. Then on Friday afternoon, rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. What does the GFS show? Friday morning, rainfall across the southern and eastern end of the island. Friday afternoon, rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. What do we see on Saturday morning? Saturday morning, we see rainfall surrounding the island. Then on Saturday afternoon, rainfall across eastern, central, and western parishes once again. What does the GFS show? Saturday morning, rainfall surrounding the island again. Saturday afternoon, rainfall mainly across some eastern, northern, and western parishes. What do we see for Sunday morning? On Sunday morning, we're seeing rainfall once again surrounding us. Sunday afternoon, rainfall. Let's see. Looks like eastern, central, and western parishes once again. And we're stopping it right here at the end of the 1 John 68 hours. So this is valid for Monday, September 22. Don't see much of anything across Jamaica, but we definitely see future tropical storm, if not Hurricane Gabrielle, right here to the north of the Leeward Islands, the north of the US and British Virgin Islands, to the north of Puerto Rico. Very interesting. What does the GFS show for Sunday into Monday? Sunday morning, not really much of anything. Sunday afternoon, maybe some rainfall across some eastern, central, western parishes. And just like on the Euro, we're stopping it right here at the end of the 1 John 68 hours. So this is also valid for Monday, September 22. Don't see much of anything across Jamaica for that time, but we definitely see that system a bit to the northeast and to the east of where the Euro has it for sure. We'll say it actually plays out, and whatever happens, I will definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs. And regarding the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps here from the Euro and the GFS, both of them are still in agreement that there should be some decent rainfall taking place. We see the dark reds into the purples and the pinks that represents anywhere from 2 all the way up to 5 inches of rainfall across the open waters where we're going to be having future Gabrielle pass. The GFS more so to the northeast of where the GFS should, well, yes, the Euro is more so to the south and west of where the GFS should be, as you can see here, just like on the other maps. We also see those rainfall totals expected for portion of Northern South America into Central America as well. You even see some dark reds into the purples across portions of the Northern Caribbean into the Greater Antilles. Very interesting times are ahead. We know that some of these rainfall totals, can mean some isolated flash flooding taking place in some areas. But regarding Jamaica's rainfall totals for the next 7 days, both maps right here from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Monday, September 22. And we see on the Euro, Jamaica shaded in the green, the yellows into the slight oranges. That represents anywhere from 15 millimeters all the way up to maybe 40, maybe 50 millimeters of rainfall. The GFS are a bit more robust with the rainfall that's expected over the next 7 days. We see Jamaica shaded from the eastern end to the western end, and the greens, yellows, oranges into the pinks, into the reds. That represents a total of 108 millimeters of rainfall. That's about, let's say, 4 inches or 4 point something, maybe 4.1. We'll say it actually plays out. And whatever happens, I will definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs if God spares life. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Regarding what's taking place across the rest of the basin, so we said we have a lot of moisture pushing through the Caribbean associated with that tropical wave that's currently passing over the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. We see some more systems out in here, a lot of moisture taking place. That's what we definitely want to see. More moisture, more rainfall. That 92L trying to get its act together right there. Let's have troughs and low pressure or upper level low pressure systems right up here as well. The Atlantic is definitely moistening up. I like to see this. A lot more clouds, a lot more rainfall coming our way. Regarding what's taking place near Puerto Rico as we speak, we can actually see some decent moisture. We see the greens into the yellows, into the oranges. Now represent some light to moderate, even some slightly heavy rainfall here and there, extending from the Dominican Republic across Puerto Rico into portion of the Leeward Islands. And if we load these images from earlier today, we saw where we had some amount of rainfall across section of eastern, central, and even portion of north, especially northwestern Puerto Rico. Look at those rain bands pushing from east to west. Almost everywhere got some kind of hit or miss shower for sure. Regarding the Windward Islands now, near Barbados, not really seeing much of anything right now. But if we look north of there, we can definitely see some rain bands pushing from east to west into portions of Dominica right in there. Don't really see much of anything from St. Lucia southward. Maybe some isolated shores just to the east of Trinidad, but that's it. Regarding the wide view of Doppler radar images, you can see some rainfall across section of the Yucatan into Belize, Honduras, section of eastern Nicaragua, section of Colombia, Venezuela. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, both map chart here from the Euro and the GFS are in agreement that it should be raining from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. Well, not necessarily from now up until then, but within the next 24 hours. Anywhere that you see shaded in the greens, yellows, oranges, and reds, so anywhere from 0.1 of an inch of rainfall all the way up to an inch or less. We're talking about areas such as Florida into the Bahamas, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, sections of St. Martin, sections of St. Kitts and Nevis, so too sections of Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Dominica, sections of, let's say, St. Lucia into Barbados, St. Vincent and Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, sections of Venezuela, sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan getting in some of the action as well. And we can clearly see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with this forecast. I know that when they're in agreement like this, the chances are higher for it to actually take place. Regarding what's taking place across the eastern Pacific, we still have tropical storm Mario right here to the west of Mexico, and to the south of Mexico we have a code red, something that has a high chance of development within the next 7 days. And if we take a look at the infrared, we can see the cloud showers and thunderstorms associated with Mario right here, and to the southeast of that we have that area that has a high chance of development within the next 7 days. I know that if something should form of it, the next name on the list is Narda. But the latest on Mario, as you can see here, it is currently packing 65-mile-per-hour winds, so that definitely makes it a medium range tropical storm. We know that tropical storms usually pack anywhere from 39 to 73-mile-per-hour winds, so it's up there in the intensity. It is currently moving towards the northwest at 13 miles per hour. Should maintain that tropical storm status all the way up until Tuesday night, where by Wednesday morning it should be downgraded back to a tropical depression. It should remain out at sea. No tropical storm watches or warnings up for anyone at this time. Regarding what's taking place across the Indian Ocean, nothing. Regarding the Western Pacific though, we have two code yellows, a lot of cloud showers and thunderstorms in and around the Philippines right down in here. So could we get something to formulate from all of this mess of clouds? Only time will tell. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.